All right, so let's talk about. I guess we should talk about Derrick Jaxn first. Derrick Jaxn's wife had something to say. I know somebody mentioned it in the chat. I didn't know what they were talking about, but then before I knew it, I stumbled into a post online just as I was about to come up online here, right? Okay, I'm seeing this right now. Jesus. Anyway, let me just go to the post and show you some stuff. I'm going to share my screen. Should I share my screen? Yes, I guess I could, right? Yeah. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's talk about Derrick Jaxn. Derrick Jaxn's estranged wife, precisely. Okay. Derrick Jaxn's estranged wife has a question for you. All right. So let me see. Where am I here? Anytime I take a day off, I'm like extra clumsy when I'm coming back. But let's do it. Let me see. Let me just make sure that everything looks good on the screen before we share the screen, right? There you go. Share this. Oh yeah, by the way, let me speak to you personally. Go and download the book, loveandprestige.com, okay? Just go and download the book. Don't stop procrastinating. Go to loveandprestige.com with another device. Enter your email address, okay? And let's get you going. All right, so Derrick Jaxn's wife, if you don't know Derrick Jaxn was a guy, he's still a guy, a YouTuber, you know, over 500,000 followers on YouTube here. But basically, some few years back, some news came out about him. He was advising women, for the most part. A lot of people consider him to be pandering to women. I think so too, but again, it's easy for people to pick apart just a little part of what they heard and say you're pandering to something without taking the patience to listen. But I think so, that was the first vibe I got, to be honest, but a lot of people followed him. Clearly he was hitting a nerve and it was giving something. But anyway, the news came out back then that he had been cheating on his wife, and recently they did like some kind of tell-all interview with the Dear Future Wife podcast. All right, but she has a question. They've been divorced now. Okay, I mean they filed for divorce. I'm not sure if the divorce is finalized, but she has something to say. And I started to read the first 3 lines. I was like, no, I need to read this with my people. Shout out to the Prestige family. Welcome. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Thank you for everybody who hit the like button. I appreciate that. All right. We're in a new month. Okay. We're in a new month. November. Tomorrow is my birthday, by the way. My son's birthday was yesterday. It was awesome. To see him turn to 13 is a big deal. Okay. I think 13 is literally when you become a man. I think the rest of it is just legalities. But yeah. Yeah, so Derrick Jaxn's Deniha. Is that pronounced that right? Deniha Jaxn. She has something to say. So I'm gonna read. She said, define estranged. I found out in March 2020 when I was in Denver on my mama couch for a month that I was in an estranged marriage all 2019. I was like, right? Like I was like, what is going on? How am I in an estranged marriage? All right, great. So let me see. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Awesome. All right. So till this day, I'm still questioning, did I misinterpret my own reality? I mean, the narrative is that I'm incapable of making any decisions or understanding anything without mama because I'm so codependent. I need someone to attach myself to. As soon as you see, because I don't know who she's talking to yet, as soon as you figure out what she's talking to, please let me know in the chat, because I don't know where she's going yet. Yeah, I need someone to attach myself to. Then she goes, some of you are struggling because you too, you know what they say about misery, like Misery loves company. You too have been told that you were an estranged spouse. Okay, she put spouse because she's capping. Okay, what she want to say is wife. Okay, so already stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Let me see who is here. Hey, Chia, good evening. How are you? Good to see you. All right. So she said you too have been accused of being an estranged. No, they typically don't say estranged spouse. No, it's either estranged husband or estranged wife, and it's important to keep it that way because it's different. Okay, it's different, so we can actually address the issue. You have to bring it down from macro to micro, even beyond. Like, are we talking about a man or a woman, right? It makes a lot of difference, all right? Because we're human beings, and it's very hard to put us in a box. And even at that, when we narrow it down, sometimes it's still a struggle. Anyway, some of you are struggling because you two have been accused of being estranged, being told of being an estranged spouse, and you have the memories, and you're questioning, did I make it all up? Was it real? Again, who is she throwing shots at? I don't know yet. Who told her that it wasn't real? Somebody must have rubbed that off today. Are the pictures and videos you have correctly time-stamped to match the relationship / marriage you've been in for insert amount of years? She's looking for company for sure. She didn't put the number of years. The number of years was under 5. I think they're under 5 years, right? Yeah. If you haven't been in, I always say 10 years. Some people say 7 years. I could go with 7. If you haven't been in 7 years marriage, that wasn't really a marriage, you know. Or it's still not. You're not there yet. Let me say you're not there yet, or you just listen. There's a lot that goes into. Anyway, let's continue, because she said insert amount of years, but I see where she's going, and it's true. But particularly people that chop breakfast, they will feel what she's feeling right now, right? When somebody says they no longer want to be a part of life with you or do life with you, yeah, there's a reason why you were holding on much longer than them, right? So a lot of things they will say, the reasons why they give may not be good enough. Shout out to Tyrese. There was no abuse, so why would you, like, what's exactly, like, we're estranged, like, what are we talking about? So she's basically expressing that she's confused, that she remembers those experiences, and I understand where she's going with that. You know, I understand. A lot of time when people talk about the marriage they left to, they tend to talk about marriage they left as if it was some kind of, we woke up one day and it was all wrong and I left. Like, really? All right, but let's all agree that that's how it feels when you're in the wrong situation. If you woke up one day 10 years later, even 22 years later, if you start to feel like this was all wrong, yes, that can, like, that the effect of that emotions can literally erase all of the good times. See, I know for a fact that there were good times, but that's why emotions is the biggest variable at the end of it all, right? And it's key to learn how to manage emotions, okay? Because again, one little event can throw somebody off their base, and they can question everything, and then you being on the receiving end and you're holding on to something. There's a reason why you're still holding on to something, right? So you feel like, well, we had a good time. What about the other day? What about the other day? What about the other day? What about that? And then you're like, what other day? And then they will tell you even why the other day was, they were just pretending all along. And then you're like, wow, you were pretending? That hurts. Right? Exactly. So now she's remembering all the good times. She put all this picture collage together to say, hey, see, she's smiling, he's smiling, but I'm still confused. Is she throwing shots at the public or at Derrick Jaxn'? Did Derrick Jaxn' sound like, wait, there was never anything, right? But let's see where she's going. Then comes unfiltered and unmanaged anger, rage, resentment, and unforgiveness. And you feel justified because the offense is too great. Yeah. The key word is feel. Not justified. She highlighted justified. But the key word thing that you need to manage there is feel. We don't really have to manage justification that much. If you feel right, you feel right. I can tell you you're right. You might still feel like you're not right, and then you'll be arguing with me. That happens here all the time. I say you're right. They're like, no, but I just said you're right. Because the feeling is not there. Anyway, and you feel justified because the offense is too great. Why you, the betrayer, is just impossible to forgive after insert years of your life seemingly torn away from you. Let's keep it 100. How do you say that? 100? 100? 100? 100? 100? 100. Let's keep it 100. I felt justified too until the Lord humbled me by saying, oh, she's talking about forgiveness. Not yet. Let's wait. Did you not know, the Lord said, did you not know that whoever is joined to a harlot becomes one flesh with them? For the scripture says the two shall become one flesh. 1 Corinthians 6:16. Okay.
Stop the cap.
No. That's real. No cap there. Not yet. I'm still reading. You see, your husband's harlotry. What? Okay, your husband's harlotry with other women. Is that a word? I wouldn't know. With other women, and yet you are provoked. You see your husband's harlotry with other women, and yet you are provoked to anger and call him a whore. Yet you, Denia, are playing the whore, trying to imitate other women, so he, your husband, can choose you. Oh, the trauma is real. Somebody said, don't say trauma, it's hurt. Potato, potata. Anyway, it's not about that. It's about the context, right? Pick you, love you. In so doing, you have forsaken me, the Lord your God, who is the only one who can destroy your soul and spirit in hell. Displaying all these pictures to prove how much you support him. Right. Okay, so I'm looking at the picture. This is like a passport, some event, line starts here. Okay, she was doing the event. She was helping him manage events at the Essence Festival. They were traveling. He has the do-rag on. He was the relationship coach for the women. Dinner dates, right? Or they had some good times, you know. But again, just because you had good times does not mean that one piece of event. Send this message to Tyrese. Okay, that one piece of event can take you out, and it gets worse when you're not aware that emotions have that kind of power. It gets worse because you just come out and you say, hey, I did nothing, I didn't do anything, I'm a good guy, I was a good guy, we had such a good time, there was nothing wrong with our relationship. And then you find yourself, your marriage, you find out for the first time that, oh, there's another human being involved. They might have been feeling different. In fact, they might be struggling with feeling different because it's not necessarily an intentional thing. If it's an intentional thing, I should run away from that person. That's evil behavior, right? Right. But I don't think they are evil. I think something is going on. Okay, let me keep an open mind. Maybe I should listen a little bit more. It doesn't mean I wasn't listening, but there's something that I clearly don't know, right? It's going to take patience. Why should I give patience? They should just take care of themselves. Well, that's your wife, your husband. Yes, you're right. They should take care of themselves. Now, can you keep it moving? Like move on with your life? Oh, it's not that easy, right? Yeah. You're right. That's why we're here now.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Shout out to Brother Patrick. Brother Patrick, how are you, sir? So, yep, she's talking. Let's see. Displaying all these pictures to prove how much you support him, yet you do not spread the gospel of Christ. All right, here we go. All right, you do not spread the gospel of Christ. Yeah.
Stop the cap.
Yeah. But let me continue. I don't know where she's going yet. Okay. Yet you do not spread, she's talking to herself. Yet you do not spread the gospel of Christ with the same zeal you have for husband. So if it's a whore, so are you, because the two of you are one flesh. This is the definition of word salad. This is word salad at best. Hey D-Love, how are you? Shout out to you. How are you? This is word salad. All right. Do you think that one form of hality is lesser than the other in my sight? That means agbiri. In Yoruba people call it agbiri. Like Oshasewo church. Do you think one hality, agbiri, panshaga, one of the two, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You get the gist, right? You're cheating on God with your own husband. Is that not confusion? Let's continue. It's lesser than the other in my sight, says the Lord. I fell on my face, sobbing, unable to speak at the word of the Lord. It was this encounter with the Lord that gave me the strength to forgive. Some of you need to do the same thing so you can be free, turning your test into testimony. Now, let me be nice. If that works, if that's what works for her, if that's how she can get to a place of healing, I do think that faith in general help a lot of people get to a place of healing. Human beings are weak. Human beings are weaker than we think, than we realize, right? And some people need that. Some of you will need that. That's why in our book, the first of the three pillars, I don't know if you've read the book, right? The first of the three pillars is God, right? So now if you remove God, it makes sense to me why you say love is not enough. It makes complete sense all of a sudden, right? And of course, I don't mean God who lives on planet Pluto, because a lot of you think of God as is a physical being, like you actually use he and she, right, to refer to him, that he lives on a Pluto somewhere, right, as opposed to God is spirit, right? So all of that can discombobulate love, and then you start running around social media and then say love is not enough. Makes sense. Makes sense. Somebody said, did you stay in the marriage? What? Dumb question. I'm sure he loved you deeply and does. Best woman he know, but the flesh got the best. God speak. This hit me right in the heart. Again, whatever works for people. Sometimes people just need other people to connect to God and all this kind of stuff. So I understand it. But emotional battles, right? It's a beast. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have support system, if you don't have a support system from a higher being, then it makes sense that, pride will start to play a role. Pride will creep in and take over, and you know what that means, right? That's one leg of your four-legged table discombobulated. Pride, number 4. If you don't figure that out, and guess what, you'll still be right. Okay, you will have all the rights. And guess who's right today? Jamie is right. So we're going to be talking about right. All right, I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, spoiling everything. I find a beautiful girl. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up with